Canadian shear sharpening. You tuned into this video because you want to know what I'm talking about, Canadian shear sharpening. Well, let me introduce you to this channel. This channel is about judging people's sharpening or evaluating it or whatever. The International Scissor Sharpeners Association is an organization for sharpeners, and I send out some shears to be sharpened, and then I look at them, and these happen to have come from Canada. So this isn't indicative of all shears being sharpened in Canada, but of this one particular person. And so I'm Bonnie McGowan. This is my third channel. I have 3 YouTube channels. And you may have seen the other ones, or if not, check them out. The first one's Shears, which has around close to 10,000 subscribers now. That one's all about shear sharpening, clipper blade sharpening, a bunch of videos on sharpening. Then the other one is Love to Cut, which is about shears, and it's more geared to hairstylists. This is my third one, and it's all about these evaluations, and we're looking at shears to see whether they cut hair. Now, I'm sending out a shear that's a convex and a bevel, and we're going to look at them in a minute, and you'll look at it with me. And I do a little minor damage to it. The convex will have a little micro bevel on it, so I'm looking to see that it's reconvexed, and they both will have a few nicks on it. So I'm looking to see if the convex is convex, a bevel's a bevel. If you don't know what those are, I'll explain it to you. And then to see if they cut. And we're going to cut wet tissue, which is telling me whether all the nicks and burrs are gone. And we'll cut some hair, and that'll tell me whether they're going to push hair, whether they're going to work well. Now in the background, you might hear Ricky. Wave at us, Ricky. Ricky is, I've had a lot of people request that Ricky's on more of my videos because he's better to look at than me, I think. But he comes in the afternoon and sharpens, and we do a lot of mail order sharpening. Shears is our company, and I've been training sharpeners for decades. And we're in the Atlanta, Georgia area. I train both online and in person. Now, this is a person, I don't recognize the name, so I don't think I've trained them. They've probably watched my videos, or otherwise, how would they know about me? And but I'm curious to see what their sharpening looks like. And I'm going to let you look at it with me. So come over here. Let me clear some room out here. Now, this is the envelope it came in. I'm not going to show you their names, or his name. It is a he, by the way. But each of the shears, or each of these certifications, have a number on it. And this one is number 316672. So you're not going to know whose shears these are. So they get the 2 shears. One's a convex, one's a bevel. If you're a sharpener, you should be able to look at these and know which is which. And then there's also a written test. And the test, you don't fail if you miss questions on the test, but the test tells me whether you likely have been trained or know, about how to sharpen shears, what's expected. And this person got them all right. So we're good to go there. If you want to know what the questions are and the answers, just go take a look at other videos on this channel, because I go over these very frequently. And I'll try to put a link in here with the correct answers, because I really don't want you to miss any of this. This is information that you do need to know as a sharpener and understand. So here's our 2 shears. First of all, I'm looking to see if the convex is truly a convex. So convex means that blade sort of curves over to nothing. It's sort of clamshell. This looks pretty good. It scrolls over to nothing. There's a little bit of a bevelly shape, but not much at all. I would say it's not the absolute best I've seen, but it's not bad at all. So, I mean, I would say he passes on this for the convex shape. Now, the ride line is a little worrisome. do you see how the tip is stripped out and there's like ride line up the back? That's not the way it's supposed to look. It's supposed to be like a nice, clean, shiny ride line. So I don't know what's going on here because there was too much metal taken off at the tip. That can happen sometimes if you don't put enough pressure over the pivot area, or you try to do the ride line without, where you're putting the pressure in the center rather than back here, because that tip is sort of wiped out too. But sometimes they'll cut. So this would not make him fail, depends on how they cut, but I would like to see him start working on doing better ride lines than that, because this definitely could look better. So just for instance, this is a super, super cheap scissor and somebody's done a bad job of sharpening it. But you see how that ride line is nice, clean ride line. It doesn't wipe out at the tip. I don't know what the story is on that one. Oh, but anyway, this one's not a good convex edge. This one is. We'll see how it cuts. Let's look and see if this number 316672 is a bevel. And what we're looking at here, the difference between convex and bevel, is this should have a flat surface. So it comes up and it's flat. And we've seen some people try to convex these bevel shears, but these are bevel. Now one side was serrated and he's taken the serration off. And it's almost like he's trying to convex it a little bit. It's supposed to be more flat. And I'm looking for, these are cheap scissors. Sometimes you get in trouble if you polish them and shine them up too much, and these are pretty shiny. But here's what's really worrisome to me. Do you see the inside here? Hey, Ricky, you want to come look at these and tell me what you think he did wrong? Look at the inside here. What you think he did? Look at that one. Look at that tip.
Didn't do the ride line?
He did do the ride line, and he probably shouldn't have, because these are really cheap beveled edge shears. He really should have just pulled up a burr and cut it off. But he either took it apart or he just laid it on the stone and he tried to do this inside. This is one of those stories where less is better. So I have a feeling this is probably going to push hair. So we'll try it on some hair. And the other thing I'm looking at, you see how this is adjusted? When you got these cheap scissors like that with a little plastic handle, you want to adjust them pretty tight.
Okay.
These will be a little loose. But yeah, this is somebody that they shouldn't. See, it doesn't have a hollow inside. It's flat. And if you try to do a rod line, you get this kind of crazy stuff. So it's probably going to push hair, but we'll see. First thing I'm going to do is see if it cuts dry tissue. If it doesn't cut dry tissue, I mean like right off the bat, they're not going to pass. So I want to cut it. I'm pulling my thumb out so it's the least pressure possible. And it does cut. All right. Pulling my thumb out. Cuts dry. Let's see if it cuts wet. Now the wet tissue tells me if all the burrs are gone and all the nicks are gone. This is really thin tissue. You can see my hand the other side. So I'm pulling my thumb out and it actually cuts. So far, so good. And this is folding. I think this would cut fine if that screw was tighter. So let's get some hair. Oh, I found some more tissue. I'm looking for hair. Look here, found a whole roll of tissue. A little dusty on the outside, but there we go. Where's my hair? You got some hair over there, Ricky? Oh, here's some hair. Let's see how these cut hair. Convex edge. Lay this up here. Convex edge. Thumb out. They cut pretty good. And that tip's not pushing. I thought when I looked at them that tip would push hair. But it's cutting nice and crisp. And it feels sharp. So I'm going to pass these because the bottom line is, do they cut? And are they convex? I don't like the way this ride line looks. And I also would normally adjust them a little tighter than that because they'll loosen up on with the hairstylist, but I'm going to say Canada passed on the convex edge. Let's see if the bevel cuts. And I pull my thumb out because that gives it the least side pressure. Huh. Well, Canada, you have surprised me. These pass, even though that tip looks ugly, ugly, ugly. Wait, hold everything. These did not pass. Let me show you why. I didn't catch it. I knew the tip was pointy, but it's not coming together. If the tips don't come together and there's a gap here, you haven't passed. So, convex passed, the beveled edge did not. That's what it takes to look at them one more time. I think I just wanted them to pass too much. So, do you see the tips? Little bit of a gap. But that's going to be enough. If there's some fine hair, it's going to pull the hair. Do you see the gap? So, too bad. I can send them back for you to redo, but since it's Canada, if you want to call me on the phone and tell me how you would fix this gap tip, and preferably tell me what you did on the ride lines, and we talk about maybe a better way to do your rod lines. I don't know what you're using for your rod lines. And these haven't passed, but they will. So sometimes these ISSA sharpenings really amaze me. The bottom line is I think these would make the customer happy. And if the stylist is happy with your sharpening, or the groomer, whoever you're sharpening for, you're going to be happy. So I see room for improvement, but not bad, Canada. Not bad, Canada. So do you think you could pass the ISSA? I'll put some information at the end here about how you can be certified or join the ISSA. And once you join, you're a lifetime member. We have, maybe in the future, we'll have some ISSA conventions, but we definitely have a Sharpeners Jam convention, which is part of our same group, that's going to be in Cancun this year. So you may want to look that up and join us. Should be a lot of fun. That'll be in July 24th through the 28th of 2025, because I don't know what year you'll be watching this, but congratulations. So what's your thoughts about the International Scissor Sharpeners Association? Is this ISSA certification, is it a walk in the park, or is it a little more difficult? Let's see what you can do. If you want to be certified, if you want to join the ISSA, it's for those that are certified, it's more than just a piece of paper. It's more than just an ID card. So links below is going to tell you how to be a part of the ISSA and also to get your swag and your merchandise. If you're ready to take your sharpening skills to the next level, I've got you covered, whether it's a certification or upgrading your equipment or getting some more sharpening training. That's what we're about. So call the red-headed sharpening lady, Bonnie at Bonica Shears. And remember, stay sharp, my friends.